Hello, friends. I'm running a little late than usual today. Welcome to this live. My name is Elena Motonono. I help online language teachers build a more sustainable business in a manageable step-by-step way. It's different from just building a course and creating some kind of pie in the sky that makes you a million every time you launch. This is a journey that takes you from what you already know to the new things. And if you're interested in how it works, you can learn more by going on elenamotonono.com and checking out the content that I create. So today I am talking on the subject that comes up a lot in my conversations with online language teachers, and that is the subject of marketing as a way of convincing others. Many teachers believe that marketing is about convincing, that in order for me to sell anything, right, I need to learn how to convince people to buy from me. Are there any specific words that I need to tell people? Are there some things that I want to kind of impart? And so that gets people into this predicament of going from one online course to the next, working through one online course after another, trying to find this magic solution where you will finally know which words to use, how to talk about your product, and how to present it to others in a convincing way. Again, I'm using this word because it comes up a lot in conversations. And I always kind of hesitated with that wording because if you are out there trying to convince people to buy from you, there is a problem there right away. There is a problem with your perception of value. How is your product valuable? If you need to convince people, convincing reminds me of this, strategy of going door to door marketing and going from one place to the next and asking people, to buy something that they really don't need, that they really don't want, and showing to them how wonderful it is. And that's how your sales expertise shows and shines, when you're able to convince somebody that you indeed can buy and should buy something that you really don't know much about, don't have a need for, but you feel so convinced because this person in front of you actually knows what they're doing. And that is how they are called a good salesperson, a good marketing person. So I wanted to challenge that notion today in this live and actually talk a little bit about how I work with clients and how I work in spaces where in my community where I teach people what it means to market, and market with integrity, market in such a way that people are convinced, right? But you did not need to convince them. So there's this fine line between the two, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Again, going back to issue number one, if you are convincing somebody to buy something from you, there is already a problem. And the problem is in you not knowing what the value of your product is and how it is different from the myriad of other things. And it is true that many online language teachers, when they come from a platform and they want to show up themselves as their own business owners, and they start talking about themselves, they really have a hard time finding the words and finding the right kind of framework for their marketing because they're lost. In the past, a platform was promoting them. In the past, maybe some people were promoting them, referring other clients to them. And so it gets very comfortable at some point, word of mouth. And so you really do not know your value. You have not spent any time thinking about, I should say, not your value, but the value of your product. Obviously, you do not know what is the value of the services that you're offering, why people are signing up to work with you, how they're benefiting from working with you. This is not something that a platform teaches you how to do, but this is absolutely something you want to do when you are starting your business. So if you're going out on your own and you're thinking, okay, now marketing is my responsibility, and if you're not waiting for some kind of magic solution and you are assuming this responsibility, then the first practical step will be to go to your best clients and ask them why they chose you, why they wanted to work with you. Was it something that you said? Was it something that you did? Was it something that you presented, how you presented material? Was it some innovation or innovative format or way of teaching or materials that you were using? What was it? And this is not a conversation that you want to do like at the end of the class, maybe the last 30 seconds, you're going to ask a couple of questions. That's something that you want to actually plan. It doesn't have to be long, but it can be just 30 seconds. It can be just a couple of minutes, because if a person has not had the time to think about it, they're going to think about or to say something just to make you feel good about yourself, right? And something that comes right into their heads. And I don't know, they can be like, oh, well, I chose you because you're so cool, because you live in this city, because you speak the language very well, etc. So those answers are really surface level. And what you want is to go deeper and to keep asking questions. Well, what was it about? Well, there are lots of people that live in this place, right? There's lots of people that are non-native speakers speaking this language that you wanted me to help you with. Why is it that you chose me? What is it about me? What was it that really appealed to you? It would be amazing if you could interview people that did not come by word of mouth, but actually people that maybe found you through either your social media or perhaps even they were browsing iTalki or Verbling and they found your information. They're like, ooh, maybe this is something that might be of interest to me. So you want to like dig deeper and ask, okay, so why did you choose me as opposed to any other people? And of course, initially it's just this kind of let me try, curiosity, but then they stayed with you. Why did they stay with you? What was it about your teaching method that was different from others? And this is something that you don't want to, like I was saying, don't just want to like brush off. You want to record and watch the recording and take notes. And apart from the satisfaction that you will get from talking to your students, actually seeing the value of your work or hearing about the value of your work from them directly, you're going to get a lot of information that will be useful to you when you start promoting your own programs on your own without the help of a big platform. So this is the first thing. The second thing, the second question that you want to ask them is to like, what was their issue when they came to you, that they came to you with, and how did you help them resolve this issue? So let's say they had an issue of they were reading, they were able to read very well, they were able to maybe even write very well, but they couldn't speak. It was very difficult for them to speak. It took them a long time. People didn't have patience to wait for them to respond to them. And because they are working at this place where they have to have meetings and they need to be present in meetings, it was very important that they develop their speaking skills. So you help them with that. So then you want to dive deeper and hear their story and their journey from where they were to where they are now. This is super important because this is something that is going to come up again and again, and especially as you're sharing these testimonials outside of your, profile on iTalki, a big platform. As you are talking about it on social media, you want to not just say or show that somebody said, oh, fantastic lessons, I love them. You want to show the journey. Okay, so here's where this person was, and here's where they are. And this was all because of the way you taught. How did you teach? What was it that really appealed to this person that you were working with? Now, you will also notice that as you interview not just one person, not just two people, but maybe more, you will find um, interesting patterns that will emerge that you will not have thought of before going into this. And I find it fascinating how when these patterns appear and how they can then become kind of like milestones to guide you towards even your niche, but that's a different story. But that's something to show you that you are not necessarily going to work with one specific with like a variety of people. You are generally working with one issue or with one kind of problem that you're helping people resolve. And that will come up in the interviews as a pattern, as a repeated pattern, which I find fascinating because it's kind of like a what Brene Brown called the qualitative research, where you don't come in with a hypothesis, you allow the hypothesis to emerge while you're interviewing other people. And it's a little disorienting because when you come in, you think yourself that, oh, this is how I work. This is why people choose me, right? Just much like we think uh, without the mirror, this is how I look. And when we go and look at ourselves in the mirror, which in this case is going to be your students mirroring your experience back to you, then you realize, oh, it wasn't exactly what I was thinking. They are choosing me for different reasons. They're choosing to work with me for different reasons. And so once you collect that data, once you have that information, once you understand a little bit more about your work, then you formulate your offer. What is your offer going to be? And it can be anything. That's the thing. Like it can be one-to-one lessons if that's what you want in the beginning. That's what you are most comfortable with. Or you can go into the asynchronous method and create a program that does not require one-to-one support. And it can be a coaching program of some sort that has the beginning and the end. It really does help for you to have the beginning and the end, even with one-on-one classes, but that's a side note. So when you create this offer, when you put together this offer, and when you write down what it means, like, so many lessons at this price, and this is how much it's going to cost, and this is how long it's going to take, this is what it's going to take, homework, worksheets, whatever. At the end of it, it's very important for you to sit down and look at this work and to start working on your own belief. Do you believe that you can help people achieve the results that you have already helped some people achieve? Do you believe that? And this is an important reflective exercise where you want to take your time and actually write down all the reasons why you believe you are a better person, or you're actually the right person for a student with these specific needs. Now that you've had this experience, now that you've interviewed people, you no longer need to sort of convince somebody. You offer a solution with confidence and you back it with faith and trust in your own expertise. And it's a big shift in how we market when you stop convincing and when you actually start presenting with confidence and presenting um, uh, with the facts, right? So this is where my student was, this is where they are, and this is how they got there. And working on your belief and building that belief takes time. Obviously, it also takes quite a bit of um, development in terms of like how you build it for yourself. How do you see yourself as someone, as a teacher who can actually help? I find it often that when I talk to teachers that struggle with marketing, these are the teachers that are most insecure in their own expertise. And I used to be that way as well, because you're surrounded by so many other people. And what seems like from social media, everybody else is better than you. Everybody else knows better than you and can help people better than you. And when you look at it from this outside perspective, it feels quite demoralizing. And I've had teachers in my coaching space that would sometimes say, well, but I don't know how I'm better. But I don't know if my work is anything original because all I do is this. And that also comes with some kind of like higher expectations of ourselves and perfectionism, which is a form of defense where you don't feel like moving forward or taking action. Perfectionism is a good protection mechanism. It allows you to stay exactly where you are by telling you, well, why make offers? Why talk about your offers if it's not original enough, if it's not good enough, or if it's not, something unique enough. And when I hear these things from teachers, I usually ask them, well, what does it mean to be original? Like, what is original enough? Can you tell me? And it becomes very difficult for people to actually recognize, like, oh, I actually don't know what original enough is. It's something that is not what I have. But what is what you have? What if what you have is enough and it's original enough, it's unique enough, and it's um, skilled enough to help your students move from one point to the next? What if you allow yourself to think that way? How is it going to change that? Marketing, good marketing and good sales is all about confidence and belief in your own offer. And if that belief is absent, no convincing methods or magic bullets are going to help you um, go out there and find clients or attract clients to your courses and your programs. Um, it works like that. I know that in the beginning, I used to always look for like a very specific, plan of action when it comes to marketing. Tell me exactly what to do. What I didn't realize and what I am coming to realize over time, that in order to be successful, and I should say probably successful is probably like not the word that I want to use, should say effective in marketing and selling, effective in outreach, effective in impact. What is really important is the work that we do on the inside, which does not have bullet point checklists. And that's what makes it so frustrating. But the people who are able to go through that and uh, kind of struggle with the things that are not on the surface. But they're so fun because they spark our curiosity and creativity. These are the people that are able to get to be super effective with their messaging. They're very effective with selling. They're very effective with reaching people and impacting people. So and it all starts with this inner work and this difficult kind of work that I shared with you today. You do not need to convince anybody to buy from you. What is important is to dive deeper and to understand, how have you already helped people? Why you and not anybody else was the best choice for the specific student? And how can you take that and communicate it outside of your one-on-one experience on social media and anywhere else? How can you, by strengthening your belief in your services and in your products, how can you communicate and keep communicating it beyond your current students and people that are being brought to you by reference? I hope this was helpful to you today. If you are interested in creating an audio course and making it available to your students specifically over the summer, I'm inviting you to join my challenge that starts next week. I'm super excited about it, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of you in my space and helping you create yet another way of serving your audience, and that is an audio course. For online language teachers, audio courses are amazing when it comes to language learning, and I don't want you to miss on this opportunity, especially as the summer is coming closer. And for some people, mm, it's the summer, for others, not so. But if you are in the hemisphere where it's the summertime, the people might be um, traveling and not available. So it's good to offer them another chance to learn, and an audio course might be such a chance. I'm so looking forward to connecting with some of you. If you have questions, drop them in the comments, what you think about this topic of marketing and convincing people. And I am looking forward to connecting with you more next week. Bye, everyone.